But hopefully this will be a name you remember, as it's probably the only name in the room that you haven't come across, Never.no. I'd say something cheesy, you'll never know when you need us. But essentially, just to give you an idea of who we are, we have been working with broadcasters over the years to allow real-time audience engagement into TV shows. So taking typically social media and allowing the presenters to interact with the audience, whether it's a comment, a picture, a video, maybe a poll, could be running a competition, real-time data, whatever. We've been driving that into graphics. And then we thought, well, this is really proving audience engagement levels, it's driving figures up and things like that. Wouldn't it be cool if we could do this in ads? And then very cockily we thought, yeah, let's do it for advertising. And then open the Pandora's box of everything that you guys know, and we didn't. But what we did do is solve the problem, and we suddenly see that this whole idea of dynamic advertising really works. And everything I'm talking about and showing you here is about what we're saying is linear TV broadcasting. That doesn't mean to say it won't work and transfer into digital, but everything you see is going through the traditional linear space. And of course, using this technology with things like Sky Ad Smart means that you can really change your creative to be dynamic. So without going into the details, but we've seen some crazy things from people saying, well, this TV ad campaign drove my social audience. I now actually have a huge social audience that I can engage with on a regular basis. Crazy stats like people saying it drove almost 88% purchase intention because people were buying into what they're doing. They're making the ad dynamic. They're investing their time. They're sticking around longer when they watch the ad when it was dynamic. They're getting more brand favorability. And we've even seen the crossover of linear driving digital viewing, which then the digital viewing drove the linear viewing because the two audiences were in sync. So what am I really talking about? Well, as we said earlier, we're a technology for people to use. We take data, and typically social media data, everybody's engaging on there, everybody's got an opinion. They want to share that. Our system brings that in. It allows you to gather that content, filter it, target it, render a new version of your creative to then deliver. So using IMD Cloud, we then deliver it against your media plan. In the idea that every single delivery can be unique, and that's the important thing. So we're going to show you some stuff with social media, which is obviously why the ad needs to be unique, because it changes every day when people see the ad, interact and want to be in it. But essentially it could be anything. So here's an example. It was a Danone commercial for Oikos. The idea was they wanted their Facebook audience to interact with the ad. They wanted that ad to be able to change. So the technology allowed somebody to choose somebody from their Facebook community to be in the ad, and every time that ad aired, it can be somebody different. But not only that, using the technology, we were able to do regional versions, 2 creatives, do a clocked render, digital render, one for clearance, where you'll see in the ad I'm going to play in the moment, we changed the logo from ITV to STV to UTV to be relevant across all. And also somebody from the Facebook community got to be the star. So I'm going to play you the 2 creatives side by side so you can see how this looks.
Guys, let's take 5, eh? Sometimes you just need to get away from it all, right?
Oikos Greek-style yogurt. Deliciously tasty. For a chance to see your picture in this TV ad with Mark, upload your photo and quote to the Oikos Facebook page.
Oi, Sunshine, you're in my spot.
Oh.
Luxurious escapes with Oikos on STV.
And you can see the brand change within that as well. So every time that is created, the system is rendering a different version, creating a really fresh ad campaign. Now, beyond that is what do you do whilst people are watching? Well, you engage with them using the platform or the social media tool so you can actually have a dialogue outside of the promotion. But how is this relevant to everybody here? And I think there's probably different people. if you haven't grasped the core thing that we're doing, we have seen that when the TV ad changes and the editorial becomes, well, essentially it does become more compelling for the audience, they're not seeing the same commercial for a week, a month, 2 months. It's got something different about it. And I can influence it using my social tools if need be, or it's reacting to something that's going on. And we've seen this in the figures that ad campaigns that deliver a unique version are proven to drive engagement and these other metrics I talked about earlier. So it means that your content doesn't have to be predefined. You are creating your ad with the idea that some things are going to change. So typically that could be the social interaction. Let's talk to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Insta audience and get them to interact and they can influence the ad. Or it could be I'm driving data results or asking people to vote on things that are changing how the ad is formatted. Maybe I need to make content changes based on events that are happening. Maybe my stock levels are changing. I want to change this. I want to plan for things to change my ad that I can't pre-plan for. And that's really important, I think. I think also for the end users, when they invest in the ad, they're more likely to share it to their peers. How many people stick on the hashtag and expect people to start sharing that hashtag? It's not going to happen. There's got to be a compelling reason to do it. Well, if I'm going to be in the ad, or I want to change the ad, or I want to see the ad change because of something I'm doing, I am going to use my social networks. And my peers are going to say, well, what are you doing? And we've seen this, and that's where we've seen these crazy figures that I talked about before. Even to the point where agencies don't do a digital support to it. People are stopping the ad, they're videoing it, and they're sharing it to their friends. And for the creatives and the post houses amongst you, these are software tools to make life easier. It's about saying, I do want to change things. Maybe it's a reaction, maybe it's a comment on something, or a vote that's going over time. I want to change that, but I don't have the time or budget, or I can't set out when I'm going to do that. Well, you can set up a template to just do this at the moment you want and deliver it late. So it's no booking out of edit suites, endless changes, and importantly, it's that I want to make a change that I can't plan for. So let's have a look at some case study examples. Coke is a good one. We've done a few with Coke. This one was an example where, as I said before, if you'll remember the Share a Coke campaign, hashtag Share a Coke, what happened to anybody that actually shared a Coke? Who knows? Well, in this case, and in Sweden, I'll talk over it, but every time the ad aired, it showcased some of the best submissions that day of people who had Instagrammed Share a Coke. So here they start to come up now. Now this is a simple creative, it's an overlay over an existing ad, but it obviously gave Coke a refreshed, expensive campaign. They could run it again with a slightly different feel. And it also motivated people to start sharing a Coke. And what I love about this is one of the only commercials I'll talk about that generated a complaint. Why do I talk about complaint? That's nuts. But apparently 2 girls went into a shop, bought a bottle of Coke each with their names on, and they did a selfie each. One of one, one of the other, and they shared it. That night, one of the girls was on air. The other one complained. But how powerful. We did an example with this with IMD where we delivered 2 ads a day across 41 channels on the build up to Christmas, where the whole audience got to put Christmas messages to wish everybody a happy Christmas. What a massive way of engaging the audience and distributing that. In the UK, Simply Be with ITN, again, inviting people that are buying the product, who'd have thought it, be in the ad and showcase how great you look at it and share this, of course, maximising the interaction with their audience. If I can. So again, these are real people that have actually seen a digital campaign and want to be in the linear campaign, which then drives when people suddenly go, oh my God, that's Chloe, and I do or I don't know her, I want to. I'm going to start using my social network to be in the ad, to change it and influence. And again, you have these huge metrics. I'm going to finish on one as an example of the video. A lot of what I've shown you has been fairly simple overlays, but with the Oikos one, you can see how you can get very complex, or I should say, they're built with change in mind. So you might want to actually shoot something using technology, green screens, etc., that you'll place content in. This is a great simple example from history, who said, if you like the Viking show and you want to be a Viking, be in the trailer for the Viking show. And now we've got our star. We found there's a lot of serious Viking viewers doing that intense thing. But also in terms of the idea of the creative, it's changing this, and we've talked about these 36,000 renders. Well, actually, here's a route you can automate how many renders you're going to do with different content in. In the case of history, they ran these versions, and then each week they would do this is the Viking of the week. And of course, that was the big spot to get in. I need to tell everybody to watch the TV just in case it's me. Here he comes. Okay. So we've seen it transform video campaigns with dynamic content because it works. You know, think about, what do I want to change? How do I want to target? If I'm using Sky AdSmart, I can now actually change it for those targets. Celebrate fan engagement, because they can be your influencers. They will share and distribute the content if they're buying into it. So then you're going to drive value from video and create unique versions that are targeted to those people. And you're going to increase the sort of frequency and keep the campaign fresh. If that changes every time people see it on air, they're more likely not to go to the bathroom or to the bar or to the toilet because they want to watch the ad break. And it also streamlines production flows when you know you can just press a button and change that content and then deliver it without any major headaches. So in a sense, you're going to drive more value doing dynamic content changes.
Fantastic. Thank you.